Oi! This is Kaizoku Uncharted. We're a couple of siblings of the vast sea of anime. If you think this is a crew for you, set sail with us each week. I'm Jakia.
And Justin. So.
Why would you open that right now?
Why not?
Okay.
Alright, so. This week, oh boy. Oh, you know what? I have no news.
Oh, good.
So.
I love it when there's no news. Yeah, that's great.
Or did I have news? Now I'm kind of like torn because I'm like, what, the disrespect. You know what? I have some news. Okay.
I don't think you had news, but it's fine. Go ahead. Tell us what the news is.
Wow, no build up for the news. Okay, so in the news. This is not good news.
Okay.
Demon Slayer will release a new movie. Okay. Now remember, the castle is going to be broken up into 3 movies.
Yes.
They're going to release one of these movies every 2 years.
I'm just gonna wait till all of them are available.
Yeah, I feel like
that's what it sounds like.
It's just so savagery. And let's see here.
Who knows? They're probably doing a live action, and maybe they're just like putting things, sprinkling things in there.
They shouldn't.
They probably will though.
Now, and again, I know some of this news might be considered old since we like drop it every 3 weeks for the most part.
Right.
But back in early January, the One Piece Egghead recordings had officially resumed. So we know they were on hiatus.
Yes.
At least they've gone back into the studio. So that's all I care about. And that's the news.
All right. Cool. Short, sweet, love it.
Straight to the point. So.
All right. We're finally here. Winter 2025. And most people know winter is strong. Winter normally has a history of like having a strong season. So let's see if that's the case this time around.
So do you want to start or do you want... Because I know every time I start, it has a tendency... I make my way from weakest to strongest.
Okay. No, you just start. Because every time you just like...
MD Doc.
MD
Doc.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ameku, MD, Doctor, Detective.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess this is Justin's definition of the weakest show.
Do you have a synopsis you want to read?
I do have the synopsis, yes. Okay, in Tennikai General Hospital's General Diagnostic Department, patients who are deemed difficult to treat by other doctors are collected here. From mysteries of unknown illnesses to murders that even the police can't handle, genius Dr. Takao Ameku reveals the shocking truth hidden behind these mysterious diseases. Why do you not like this show?
I'm just... already over it.
What about you over it? Okay.
I mean, so, alright, well, let's first break down episode 1.
Alright, sure. Break it down.
Already can't stand this doctor.
Okay.
So, Dr. Takio, she sucks. I'm just so tired of her. She's, smug. She thinks she's better than everyone else. I'm just
Because she is.
I'm just so over her. And then I can't tell. I know she's grown.
Yes.
And they treat her like a child because of her stature. There's big head tendencies here. I can't put my finger around it.
Oh,
but I'm just
goodness.
Now,
you better keep this big head energy when we talk about other shows today.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Now, there are some things I liked. I like the fact that there's a house on top of the hospital.
I did like that.
That's interesting.
I was like, how did you get the approval to do this? And does her uncle know?
I'm sure he does.
Okay.
I think they're just tired of it. They're probably just you know what? Just whatever. And then I like her assistant.
Yes.
His name eludes me.
Don't worry, I have it.
But he's about business.
It's just you. It's cool.
Okay? Because he does the whole karate.
Yes.
That we need. So I'm like, excellent. Now, part of my problem with her, she should be locked up.
Why?
First of all, she's arguing with detectives. I'm like, they're here to do, they're here on a crime scene. Like, they're bringing a patient. You just do your job. She's trying to get more information. Like, get out the way. You're not even one performing the surgery. Like, get out of here arguing with detectives. The nerve of you.
Hey, that one detective is smug too. So he was starting stuff. Okay.
I don't know about the smugness. He was saying we don't have time for your games this time, and that and hey, we come to find out why. So is it smugness or looking out for her safety? But it's just like, get out of here. And then the fact that her uncle had to waste precious, I don't want to say resources, had to waste time to summon her just to tell her, stay out of this. You know? Even the uncle's like, yo, you're being a spoiled brat. Like, get out of here. Like, you're not touching this investigation. Right. It has nothing to do with you. Leave it alone.
Okay.
She goes outside the room. And you know what? This is why the big head tendencies are here. Because you're like, keep that same energy. I have no problem keeping the same energy unless they also don't act like children with big biscuit heads. Because like a child, she starts kicking the wall. Like, get out of here. Grow up. You're supposed to be a doctor. So I'm like, get out of here. Okay? And other than that, the outro is pretty weak. The intro scope has potential for not this show. Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't like the song for this show. So it has potential. Those are my notes for episode 1. You can chime in on 1, or we can just jump all the way through 2 and 3.
Look, I love this show. I think it's great. I love the show in the sense, like, there are moments where I'm just like, hey, we don't need to do this. Like, where's this coming from, right? I was like, what's here? But I like the fact that we're doing, like, we're doing an anime show that's focusing, like, that has that Sherlock Holmes vibe twist to it. That I don't think I've seen in a while. I haven't seen it in this medical sense in a modern day time.
I was like, you could just watch Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, I know. I'm just saying that was like a whole thing. And yes, I understand the anime Sherlock Holmes, but I'm just saying, like, this is the first time I've seen it in modern day time, and I feel like she's I don't know. I like it, and then too, I also like how she was trying to get involved with the case, with the detectives, and it was back and forth. And he said, well, what do you know? And then she's like, well, what do you know? And it was like, I was like, so obviously this one other detective is down to get involved with the shenanigans.
He seems like he's the lead detective.
Right. And he's just like, let's see what happens. Sure, why not? But yeah, if you want to go to the next episode, you can.
I mean, my other issue with the show.
Okay.
How can I say this?
Just say it.
It's I'm trying to put it in words. Okay. It's we already, like, I know what the show is the best way I can say it. So it's kind of like, okay, cool. We like, things happen. She's gonna try to get to the bottom of it, and she's gonna put a logical spin on why this issue is taking place. Okay. I know the outcome. Now in the best part of the show is, I guess, the breadcrumbs. How do we get here? Yeah. I don't care for the thing she does with her finger, by the way. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I get it.
I will say, I'm seeing just like it's like a going larger outward moment is, in a couple of shows this season, a lot of main characters are doing this thing with their hands or transformations, and I was like, you don't need this.
We'll get to it. Like Headhunter. Yeah, he does the thing with his tie.
Absolutely. Or Zinshu. Like, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But it's fine. It's fine.
I know this kind of spread more. You keep saying Zinshu. It wasn't on neither of our lists. Are you going to promote? I will show you. But I'm going to. Cool. Don't worry. So we're promoting it. I'm going to watch it. Because I seen the cover for it.
It's great.
And I was just like.
It's good.
It's like interesting. All right. But.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, granted, I do the first detective loses some points because now I'm okay with the fact that I'm like, are all these episodes going to be 2-parters where it takes 2 episodes to solve the case? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to take 2-parters. I will tell you this. I love this show. I'm going to keep watching the show.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if we need to talk about it each week, and that's fine. But I do like it. Like, I thought the whole thing was impressive. I was like, who would have thought? I was like, with the dinosaur? Because everyone was like, is it an alligator? What's happening?
I immediately knew it was the dinosaur.
I mean, I'm just saying the everyday people. And I was like, no. And It's just wild, but I was just like, this is great. I was like, how is she gonna get?
Sure.
I mean, okay.
How are these dots gonna get connected?
Well, also, I did think it was a dinosaur because there was a lot of dinosaur stuff. But I was like, how is she gonna convince the people who don't know about the dinosaur moment? And she did a pretty good job.
Not like, to me, like the first episode. Again, childish behavior. She's over here running up to the grown man and his other colleague and like, oh, look, dinosaur exhibit, holding this poster. I'm like, what are you, 5? Like, don't be showing us this museum poster.
Hey, she's leaving the breadcrumbs. Or in the next episode, when she rings that man's doorbell in the middle of the night. And then, which is great, because then she just starts listing stuff, and you're just like, what? And he immediately is like, okay, tropical fish. And I was like, what does that mean? And then later on, I was like, oh my gosh.
Now, granted,
she's good at what she does.
All I know is when I first saw the dinosaur thing, then the guy got exposed, getting ripped off. I was like, okay, so the dinosaur did it. And I was just thinking to myself, how are they going to... Now, granted, I thought it was going to be set up that the dinosaur head had fell down and chomped it off. Right. So it's breadcrumbs. But when his blood was blue, without knowing anything else, I was like, okay, this person is either an aquarium employee or something with an aquarium. Like, I at least know this much. Right. So I was like, where are we going with it? Now, the first detective sucks because when we figured it all out, how do you let the suspect get past you? Right. So he almost got to hit the doctor. I don't know how I would have felt about it, but he almost got past the doctor. He almost got to hit the doctor, but that's when you steps up and put him down. Yeah. I was like, cool. Episode 3. This is why I think it's going to always be 2 episode shenanigans. Because episode 3, when the whole time, like, okay, we got 2 quote-unquote geniuses talking to each other about this curse that could be happening. And the whole time I'm thinking about it, we got the one old man with the constant cough. Yeah. We have the other doctor. There, right? We got the other doctor who's locked up in his room. And the whole time, though, but from the flashback, I was just like, so there's nothing wrong with the girl and the guy? Because I thought they both went. That was with the old man as he was coughing. Right. So I was like, so only the elderly are affected? Like, why are these 2 not affected at all? And then, as they were reading, people who got cursed by whatever the legend was, they always went up in flames. Right. And then it wasn't until after the end of episode 3 that she went up in flames. And I was like, I was wondering why that girl went and nothing happened. Yeah. So I was like, okay, so that clearly shows me episode 4, we're going to try to get to the bottom of something. But we did figure out, the coffin is because of this. Yeah. And this is because of the limestone or the dust in this area. And again, once again, you had to throw some karate on the dude who was like, why are you on this property? I didn't give the okay for these 2, and he had to put them down. Now, he did put his hands on the doctor. I think he pushed her. Yeah. He pushed her to the ground or something. So, but now I'm like thinking, is he a direct descendant? And maybe he put the curse of the flames because he was like, oh, you're going to get cursed. I was just like, it's like, man, this guy's for real. So, I was just like, long story short, I was like, okay, I got an intro that doesn't belong. Okay. I got an outro that's weak.
I appreciate the fact that we're talking about intros and outros now. Because I would mention it in the past, y'all were like, okay, but I'm glad that we're talking about it now. This is great.
And then I got a biscuit head, know-it-all, smug doctor. Yeah. Granted, they were having the back and forth, and I guess there's like little ones in between because the one thing with the twin sisters.
Yeah, the thing with the twin sisters, that was crazy. Yeah, that was wild.
It was like a quick thing, but it built up. We had to have that issue to deal with that wing of the doctor place so that we can now be dealing with the one that one ward lady. Right. So I'm like, all right. And then I got a situation. Now, that one was a little interesting. When she went off, I kind of thought it was like subliminal messaging that forced her to go, but hey, that one caught me off guard. I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, I was also shocked too. I was like, I know both of them watched this video.
Yeah, like, why did nothing happen to the other
one? I was like, what's going on? I said, what is going on? So
yeah, I'm just like, I for the most part, I'm like, okay, so events are going to happen. I guess this lady, she's not ratchet, right?
No.
Right.
No.
It seems like now if this other,
She's
if
just
that's
a menace, it's fine.
a minute, right? Now if that second detective has a more frequent showing, I feel like he would start to have a conversation. Is he ratchet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Together
Right.
the lead, yeah. Because I'm just like, y'all cannot keep doing
So
this.
so that's to me it's weak-ish. Like if you want to keep watching it,
I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm gonna keep watching it.
Sure.
Like I said, if you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. You can have it be back burner.
We'll see if some other stuff piques my interest. It'll probably just be quick stuff.
Okay. All right. Still shocked that was the one that you want to start off with first.
Interesting. What did you want to start with first?
Red Ranger becomes an adventurer. That's what I wanted to start off first. So yeah, I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, we can be done with
okay.
the hunt right now.
Great. All right. So the Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world.
Yes.
In the final battle against the evil exterminators, Togo Asagaki, a Power Ranger, traded his life for the enemies. It seems like everything was over, but suddenly he found himself in another world. He becomes an adventurer, transforming into Kizuna Red, and continues fighting to save people in trouble. Here he meets a young wizard, and his journey in this new world begins.
Got it.
I'm torn with this show.
Oh.
Because I can't stand it, and at the same time, I have to know what happens. And I think that's what made me mad. There's so many things in the show that were so cringe and annoying. But then we find it, and this is me jumping, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because I know you're gonna handle it. But I'm just like, Logi's a real one. Like AKA Lo. I'm just like, he makes all the sense in the world. He's like, he should come with us on this journey. He's gonna be a problem.
Right.
He was like, all the things. He was like, what? I just like this character. I was like, oh no, he has red hair. I was like, oh great. First he's a Red Ranger.
Right. And
then I was like, oh no, he has red hair.
Right.
That means he's gonna be loud. I said, now we have a Red Ranger who has red hair in another world who has the opportunity to become an adventurer. This is like nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble. I don't see how he's going to do his job well at all.
I mean, clearly he's been doing his job well. I like the fact that they foregone the 6 months. We didn't need to know because part of me was just like, oh man, now we're going to have to watch how does he get acclimated to the world. But they were just like 6 months later. And I was like,
he never got acclimated.
He did.
I don't think so.
He made his way to a location. We see backstory. He's just helping people in need, regardless. And I'm like, great. Like, that's all I need. Now, I just like the fact it's chaos. Don't get me wrong.
It's very chaotic.
This immediately can be dropped. Like, so the one thing I love is I was like, yes. They're like, why? When she went ahead and the wizard question, why is there an explosion?
Right, she said, why after you've defeated them, pause, they've all exploded.
Well, I meant even the first time when he transforms. There's the explosion. She's like, wait.
I feel like, that's nothing. They're asking all the right questions.
Right.
And so that's why I can't be mad, because I was like, it's a great question.
All right, now, part of it that went ahead and made it weak is, and I don't want to make it sound like love is weak. Apparently, they are rangers that are trying to protect bonds, love, friendship, relationships, what have you, in the evil organization. And all I can think of when I'm thinking evil organization, I don't think we will get tagged for mentioning other shows that are not anime. But all I think is like, Rita Repulsa. The key word here, Red Ranger. So that means Power Rangers are involved. Yeah. Rita Repulsa, Lord Zed, Goldar. I'm used to seeing villains. Now, I got this evil organization. It's called the Relationship Enders. Yeah. I'm just like, this doesn't scream terror or fear to me. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. Yeah. I also like the fact, I was like, oh, wow, I have questions. How, if he was able to just summon his Zord?
Thank you, 100%. My thing was like, how is he able to still use his equipment in this world?
Oh, no, I'm okay with that.
No, I'm not. Because I was like, how does it make sense? And then I'm just like, how is he able to use this robot without all of them being here. And I'm just
That's
like,
where I have.
I'm like, with him using this robot, does this mean that they're not able to wherever they are?
It definitely means the Zords can travel cross worlds.
But no, it means this. Were the other Rangers ever necessary? Because here's my thing, and this is me jumping. I'm like, for it to even work properly, we need people in this thing. So it could be any and everybody. Right. This is proven that it could be any and everybody. So I'm just like, technically, he didn't need the other Rangers. He never needed them. He is the one who's able to call forth all of them and assemble them he's able to assemble all the teamwork things by himself.
Which is not supposed to be possible.
Right, so I'm just really confused. And then I'm just like, well, who our fifth member gonna be? Because now we got 4 people.
You already came to that conclusion too. Yes.
Because,
so clearly,
like, we need 5.
Clearly we're gonna need 5.
We're gonna need 5.
I think we've been fighting lesser beasts where he can get away with it. But it's going to need all 5 forming a bond for us to be able to use this Zord to
And he's just great. And he's just great. Well, yeah, she was like, you got some, your bonds are pretty loose because you just met me. You just met her. Obviously it does not take much here. And he's like, no, this is the thing. And I was like, no, she's right. Because you just met her.
Hey, they went on an adventure and they told their dreams.
I'm talking about the princess now.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like, it's only been a minute. And then, like, he's like...
We were able to form a bond with the 2 people we were in a competition against.
I know, which was wild, too. Because I was like, who are these punks? But I'm just like, you know what? I just don't know. And
I'm just in it for the explosions and the laughs at this point.
Look, I'm just like, he's an idiot. Going back to the cave... What made him think that the robot was going to be big enough to fit in that cave?
Hold on. In that same regard, that means I had to call Eildra an idiot. Because she's the one who suggested it.
She is. And he is for listening to her. Because she doesn't know anything about the power of the equipment.
See,
I just don't know.
When it was mentioned, I was okay with it only because I thought he was just going to summon his. His own could come through.
I don't think he can. And that's what I'm starting to see with the show. Like, he's not able to do anything alone when it comes to these big things. And I'm just like, and maybe that's the whole point. Who knows? But I just know that Logi is dying. He can't stand it. He's not having any of this. He's not a fan.
I do want to see what becomes more of Logi.
I do too.
That might be one of the
I thought he
winning
was gone
factors.
For a minute because he had a Team Rocket moment.
Sure.
But, he back. So
there also seems to be maybe subtle love story here because Eildra keeps blushing when with the Red Ranger,
which is crazy.
So
he is
maybe something. So we got it now. Granted, the Spectre, the guy who beat her dad, at least his get up looks interesting.
Yes.
So there could be real evildoers in this world.
Who knows?
But is it worth talking week to week? No. Like, if something randomly happens that's nuts, maybe we'll get a shout out. But other than that,
maybe.
Yeah.
But I was like, this show, outrageous.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, it's your pick now.
All right. Let's see here. Oh. You're lucky I have my own rules, so I won't choose this next show.
I mean, you can choose the next show. It's
no,
fine.
Only because it's technically not weaker. So.
Okay. It can be. I'm just saying I had to get Red Ranger out the way because I was like this show, and I'm just annoyed that I have to I'm gonna keep watching it to know what happens. I'm just like I haven't been this upset since Attack on Titan, so I'm just like, oh my god. So we'll see.
I'm trying to find a note for it, but it's gonna be that Headhunter show.
Okay. Okay, so Headhunted to Another World?
Yeah.
Alright. While you're doing that, I'll read the synopsis.
Sure.
Alright, so Uchimura is a normal, everyday salaryman trying to climb the corporate ladder. But then he's summoned to a terrifying fantasy world by the demon overlord who offers him a new job as one of the heavenly kings in his army with full benefits. Uchimura may not have muscles or magic, but he does have an office worker's skill and savvy. Will they be enough to keep him alive? And I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, he's not having a fight.
Absolutely.
Oh, cool. It was just right before MD, apparently.
Okay.
So right away, this is back burner.
It's a back burner for you?
Yeah, I
agree. This is back burner, but I appreciate this show.
Oh no, I will continue.
I will continue to watch this show.
I will keep watching it.
I'm gonna keep watching the show. I like this show, because I haven't seen this before.
Now hold on. Okay. Similar to MD, if it's not back burner for you, similar to the book, it's got to be unanimous.
Okay.
So, because to me, I can live with it or without it on the pod. But that being said, once I saw episode 4 was dropping, this is one of those shows that are a little bit ahead of the other ones. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I can watch it. So, but I can
watch it.
Yeah, but the other part. So I was just, like you said,
I'm committed to see how.
What do you? No, that's a perfect segue. What are you committed to?
I'm committed to because we're starting to see more shows that are focusing on the Demon Lord or the Demon King, like their back end, right?
Okay.
But we never really see them accomplish the goal of we gonna end the world. But I feel like with this one, this Demon Overlord's like, hey, I have a mission. I'm getting all my people together, and we're gonna do the thing. And I like how we're going about it, so I'm committed to it.
Is this person? Here's one interesting tidbit.
Okay.
Is this person really a Demon Lord?
I don't know.
Only because
I don't know.
Because to me, it was like maybe it's he's a demon lord, like lord of a land, because we find out he has one of the smaller regions.
But I like this though, because here's the thing. Because we're comparing it to other worlds, we're comparing it to other things, and most things we come into it where the Demon Lord, his army is already built,
right? And
this is giving us a behind the scenes of how it gets there.
So
that's what I'm committed
to. I'm okay with that.
And I am too.
But should we then why do we have that title right now when we haven't reached that objective?
I mean, I think I don't know. I feel like that's the same thing when it comes to being the hero. Like when people are called heroes.
Why are you a hero when you haven't done hero? Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like if that's the way it is.
I'm not against that. Okay.
With the hero, then why wouldn't it be that way with the Demon Lord or I feel like that's what it is. So I like this show. I'm committed to it. It's giving us behind the scenes.
There are clearly the love. I don't think this is supposed to be a harem.
No, out of all the shows that have dropped this season, this is not a harem show.
Okay.
I feel like this is not a harem show.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like
because there's clearly the love interest between
Umandra,
the fire lady, the Inferno assailant.
Yeah, and Ululu, which is the ogre's daughter.
Wait, what? Oh no, I meant that she loves Uchimura.
Yeah.
Okay. But then it's almost like, okay, we had the 1-on-1 with Sealfeed.
Yeah.
Maybe Gnome. I know we have at least gotten her favor when we go ahead.
But that's the whole point.
Right.
That's the whole point.
And like you said, like episode 2, we went and got the ogres to join us.
Right.
And then we have the ogre's daughter come, and now she's working with us.
Right.
And it seems like Umandra is just going to take everything over the top. Like, what is it? Like, what? And, she's like, what are you doing here? Like, so.
Yeah.
There also seems to be a bit of comedy, because to me it's like I got fire.
Yeah.
I got wind. I got earth. And I was like, wait, did this dude get summoned solely because he was an overseas manager?
Absolutely. Well, I want to say yes and no, because our Demon Lord
I like this. I like that.
Because he had his resume and CV up there. He was like, he had all his stuff in his...
They had his you're right, you said. The resume, did the background check.
And he made sure everybody knew about it. He was like, listen. So that's why I'm just like, I like this show, because he's not just like, in the other shows, they just summon any old guy.
Right.
He's just like, if I'm going to summon anyone from another world, let me at least do my homework. Let me do my due diligence.
Now, hold on, let me ask you
this. We don't get this from other shows when they're summoning these heroes.
I want to make sure this is not just me.
Okay.
It's not just a volume thing.
Okay.
The intro. it starts off real low, right?
It does.
Okay, so things against it. I got a weak intro.
Yeah.
Got a weak outro.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. A lot of shows this season did not have good intros or outros for me.
That's fair.
There's a slim few.
That's fair.
But
I might watch some of the other shows not on our list just to see if I can find a good intro.
Yes. Yes, that makes sense.
There's not many options
here.
Yeah, so no, I like the fact we get an office or so to hire our own subordinate. Mm-hmm. We had the option. Do you accept the job or not?
And it has full benefits too.
Yeah, we weren't going to just be forced to do anything.
Right. Like he'll send you back. I feel like that's great.
Like we said, he does similar to the old girl at the doctor. He adjusts his time and say, I'm going to settle this account.
And then we also have that moment where
the
he
bar.
goes to the bar. Because I was like, when it happened, I said, wait, did I miss something? Did I literally miss something? And I'm like, oh, this is his zone's place. This is where he gets to get himself together. But I was like, I really thought I missed something. I said, wait a minute, where'd this bar come from?
Here's my question.
Okay. Is it real?
Well, not that.
Okay, because I had to ask myself, I was like, is it real?
Is the bartender the demon lord?
That'd be crazy. I won't be mad at that.
Yeah, because
I won't be mad at
I keep having people of that world apparently in the bar.
That's true.
The alcohol is called Demon Lordy. So it's like
something.
I'm like, is this the and now also I know it's not supposed to be a harem.
Okay.
What if the Demon Lord is supposed to be female under all this armor?
I don't think so.
Okay, well that's what we're gonna find out.
We'll find out.
So But yeah, like you said, to me, hey, I mean, then we even had the thing with the whole episode 3 was all about the misunderstanding of both cultures.
Yep.
You know, he was just like, hey. Oh, not to mention he introduced cooking to the better cooking to I don't want to say the world, but at least to this village.
You can say the world because that's what happens. They don't ever have good food there.
Right? So like we're like, okay, we're learning this, we're teaching people how to do this, and as you improve cuisine, then you will of course improve the way of living here. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, cool. And he's like, hey, you know, it's so dangerous. You fight, why don't you wear more armor? And apparently to demons, that is disrespectful. They want the more skin they shows how powerful they are.
That checks out.
And we didn't know this, so they had to have, they both had to understand each other's cultures and way of thinking. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, got it. Mm-hmm. Got it, 100%.
Right.
So yeah, hey. We'll keep going, I guess, but yes, to me, it's also weak. But we'll see what happens.
I mean, I'm committed. I'm down to keep talking about this show.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm like, I want to see how far we're going to go. Because it seems like he's handling all the negotiations, kind of. Like his little faction that he got going on.
It's almost weird, though. I want to see him fail a negotiation.
It'll happen. It'll come to pass.
Okay.
It'll come to pass. It will.
All right. Yeah. All right, well, I chose that one.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about Ubel Blatt.
Whoa! Wow!
You think this one was strong like that? You know what? Hold on. It's fine. I'll retract it.
No, I want to go now.
No. I'm gonna just go ahead and let me just retract this because obviously you don't feel the same way. That's crazy.
But that's the whole point of the pod. So you mentioned it.
All right, cool.
Let's do it.
All right, Ubel Blatt. Rumors stir throughout the land when the wielder of the black sword draws his dark blade. All who stand in its path are torn asunder. Quenzel, the mysterious young boy who carries the black sword, undeniably wields it with exceptional skills, but can he truly be responsible for the bloody rumors? It's a pretty long synopsis, so I think that's fine. So yeah.
The floor is yours.
Okay. Then I don't like the pacing of this show at all.
Interesting.
It's taking too long for us to get to any point. It's taking way too long.
Okay.
It's taking way too long. And that's something that I'm just like, these things, I'm just like, how long is it going to take us to learn what's happening? Because like we keep being referenced to like the seven heroes, and it finally took us like took us forever and a half for us to get there. And then we got to another point where he finally gets, all the way at the bottom of the monastery.
Right.
And we're like having to see it in real time and back time. And I'm just like, there's too many flashbacks.
I was okay with the flashbacks.
I couldn't stand it. It was too many flashbacks.
Yeah. From
like episode 1 to episode 3 for us to get to the point about what truly happened. And I was like, this is taking too long. This is taking way too long. Because like I'm annoyed because I'm like, we're already at a sense of urgency. Because we're just like, hey, we need to get on this ship. I don't even know what this ship looks like. Sure. But I'm just like, we need to get on the ship.
Well, they showed us the ship.
But I'm just like, how long is it going to take? And then, like, all this other stuff happens in between.
It was build-up.
I'm just like, I'm not a fan of this show. And then, this even going off the intro. Okay, based off the intro, this is just going to be nothing but revenge. Even down to the lyrics of the intro.
Yes! Now, granted, hear me out in reference to the intro. First of all, I like the intro. Second of all,
I'm not saying I didn't like it. I'm just saying just for me reading the language, the translation.
My question was this.
Okay.
And I've always kind of thought about it, but never really acted on it.
Okay.
Unless, like, you gotta remember, some of these songs are made actually on people's albums. Yeah. And I was just like, man, what was this person going through that they made a whole song about revenge?
Nowadays they have people, they reach out to people specifically
to make a song. Okay,
for the show. So that's what I thought happened here.
See, and I was going to say,
I didn't look
it up either. Okay, I'm just saying that there at a certain, some songs are, and I was just like, I wonder, and I was just like, is this like a heavy metal band? Maybe they like really, what if they had this on their album? Like for revenge and killing. And I was just like, with this flag government stuff? But yeah, the beat was really strong to me in the intro. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's all you can go off of when it's like another language. But I was just like, okay, I mess with this intro a bit. Okay. And the thing about like Prime and Netflix, like unless you push the button to say watch the credits, like in 4 seconds, that thing moves on to the next episode.
It really does, and I'm not mad at that.
Right, so it's like...
I'm not mad at that at all. But, like I said, I'm not interested in the show. I'm annoyed that homegirl's name is Pee now. Right. And that, like, he just decided, and everyone followed suit. I was like, she's a liability. She's a problem. Sure. Why are we still looking after her? I was like, I just don't understand. And then I'm just like, okay, cool. Coinzel is like, hey, I gotta get revenge. Right. And then we find out it's been 23 years later. I said, yo, this is gonna be very one-sided. I was like, what's going on? I said, there's 7 of them and 1 of you. What do you think they've been doing this whole time? But then I saw a glimpse of them. So I was like, it will be one-sided, but on the other way. Right. And so,
it's like the 23. Now, my thing was like, I was like, man, it's only been 23 years.
But my thing is like, who is this kid? Because another thing, when we saw him in the flashback, he looks much larger. I was gonna say,
if you don't like the pacing now, then you're clearly not going to like the pacing when we get the backstory on why he looks this way.
Because I was so annoyed. Because I was like, I need more information. And I was like, wait, he was never always an elf? And I know. Look, I'm just saying before Justin. But I'm just like, because now he got a whole new name. Because before, in his human form, he was like Astrid. And now he's Coinzel. So I'm just like, well, what happened in this short span where you end up going to the Borderlands and you're transformed into an elf-type species?
I don't know about short span. It's been 23 years.
I'm talking in the short span of like when he was killed, right? In that short small window, sure. And then he went on the
because he's got to maybe be 18
something. And I hate his outfit, but
I don't hate it.
I hate it, but I'm just saying. But what happened in that short span where you were turned into that? And
how did you become
and then because then we learned that he started to wander the Borderlands, and recently in the past couple of months, he's the one that's been taking people out.
He's the hero of the Borderlands.
Right now, he's the hero of the Borderlands. So I was like, how did we get here? Right. And then I'm also conflicted with Centurion because I was like, is he really a foe? Because I was like, right, I don't trust this man. This is your crew of people. But as it continued to play out, I just don't know. I said, is he really in the long game?
You're not kidding. You're all over the place. All right, so you went all 3 episodes. Go ahead. Time.
Also, because like I said, I can't stand the show, but you can take. I'm just doing like cliff notes. Yeah. I don't know about this priestess. I don't trust her. Something about it, I don't know.
Interesting.
From how we got these monks, I don't trust this priestess either. Okay?
Got it.
But, you can take us through it episode by episode, because there are some things that I was like, confusion was mine.
Sure.
When it came to the magical sword and everything else.
Sure.
So go for it. Talk about the show that you like.
So, first of all.
Right.
Just like football, okay? So a saying is, we want volunteers, not hostages, okay? I think this show was going to start being on the back end of the pod. Like, it is clearly, right away, I could tell that this is going to be like one of the top 5.
Oh my God.
It's that strong.
I mean, look, if you keep talking about it,
no. Like, don't get me wrong.
We can talk. I'm just letting you know. I'm gonna just be a hater the whole time.
Hear me out. I will accept your stance only for this reason alone. This show is so great, I'm gonna run out of paper.
That's
like this. So I'll just sit back and soak it in because the show's amazing.
Let's talk
because
about it. I want to hear your notes.
I'm about to.
I want to hear your notes.
I basically have, oh my gosh, episode 1. I was just at one point. Oh no, I think it's a different show because I was writing down, oh my gosh, so much information. Kia must love it. So I was writing down over half a page is just episode 1. So right away, we get this flashback. And, I'm ignorant. I'm over here thinking, oh, maybe her name is Ubel Blatt. Because
we never hear her name.
I don't know what
because like even later on, like someone's like, "What's your name?" and someone just fills it in. I said,
"Oh my gosh, you think that's Pee-Pee's name?"
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I was like, we never hear it. But go ahead.
So right away, four people were able to complete this seal mission. We don't know what they're sealing. We don't know what's happening. But 4 people are able to complete the seal mission, but were betrayed by their 7 allies. And
grand total of 11 people.
Right. Now, and my biggest gripe was in the intro, or not the intro, but as their the introduction as the show was coming on, it was telling us that there were 14 legendary swords. I wrote it down somewhere. I don't see the number 14 in my notes. But there were supposed to be 14, and I'm just like, we're at 11. Right. Where are the other 3?
Right.
So, as I'm sitting here thinking about this, I'm like, oh my gosh. We start current day, and right away I get it, because we're already jumping back and forth between past and present. They start off with executions taking place.
Yep. And
you're being executed for being a stowaway. This area is controlled by a monastery.
Yep.
And there it is. I'm still confused. There are 14 holy blades, but the total so far is at 11. We need answers. Now, we go ahead. We meet Wield. Apparently, you have to, you got to bribe your way to make it in this town.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we are excused. They won't kill PP, and they won't kill us, Conzel. And then all of a sudden, as we leave, mind our own business, talking, trying to be civil, we have great ears. Some armored monks show up, and they also want compensation.
They also want to, see what our virtue is. They want to value our virtue.
Now, here's my only problem with it. I got no issue with that, okay? But my problem is this. Hey, stupids. Why did you want to kill us and take all our possessions? Why couldn't you just let us pay you? Right. And then you can constantly try to get blackmail and get the money. Like, now you lost your life. And then I hate I wrote down, there's so many classics that take place on this season. One of the classics were, the person threatens us, try to kill us, and then when we fight back, how dare you kill a monk? And I'm like, absolutely. You started it.
It was crazy.
I gotta defend myself.
It was crazy.
Now, one of the heroes, Landgrave, I was like, when I saw this language, I was like, Is it Jerusalem?
No, it's German. I feel like it's
is
all
it German?
I think it's
right.
all German.
So I was just like, okay, whoever this Landgrave person is, he owns the area. Mm-hmm. We meet the Altia. She knows another route. We try to take another route.
Right. Another smuggler.
Right. And at this time, that monk, he's just like, you know what? Let the mouse hunt begin. So he like goes after this tavern. She runs a clean tavern. You know, then they got this one snitch. And that's what happens. Snitches get killed. So they killed the snitch, even though he was like, you said if I told you the truth, I would be spared. And, he said, now he will be received in heaven after telling the truth.
Right.
I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. Now, we kill all these armored monks. The main monk does escape. He declares martial law.
Yep.
And I'm like, great. So now we go this alternative route. I'm glad they didn't call them goblins. There was these underground hybrid creatures.
Yeah, they were doing experiments on them.
And they're like trying to come after us. We put them down real quick. We start to see a flashback from her. And I'm like, oh no. So then we meet this gigantic hybrid looking creature. And I guess that must have been what her and her friend had ran into because she's like, we're not going to be able to get out of here. Yeah. And I was just like, okay. I kept hearing Conzel say something about it's a nice moon tonight. Right. And I
was like, what's going to happen? I was like, I have yet to see anything happen with him in this moon. I have no idea.
But per usual, we get punched through the ceiling basically so bad that the moon shines through.
Yeah.
Will tries to hold his own for the most part, trying to keep the key thing. He kept both ladies safe, Alti and PP, and then eventually, I guess we get cured by the moon, healed by the moon.
Like I said, I still don't.
We soak up parts of the moon. I don't know. But we just kill that thing. And then the top monk shows up again. And I'm like, dude, like most people who are running things, when they are able to flee the scene, they stay gone. This guy keeps showing up. It's like, dude, you're begging to get killed. Like, why don't you leave? So he brings some hired dude, episode 2. He has a magic sword. And I was like, in usual Justin logic, when I see something, I pause it, immediately write down a note. Right. And I'm like, I don't see what's so magic about it. I said, it looks like a sword with a fairy dying.
Own it.
Right. And just possibly losing his life force. And then I unpause it. And then they're like, don't you hear it? This shouldn't be existing. And I'm like, oh, I guess it is a fairy. But they said it's just screaming. Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm still going to stand by the life force. Why is it screaming? Is it because his life's being drained? I don't know. Why didn't we take the sword from this guy?
I don't know. Now,
what I did like is that he recognized Alti. So the hired gun is an former smuggler, and he was with Alti, and he's like, he remembers her. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he wasn't caught, brainwashed, yada yada yada.
Right. He just decided to get.
This is what he decided to do.
Yeah, he made a decision.
I got it, and just keep it like it is. So after that, we get the flashback, like you said. We find out his real name, Ashirti. And he is the Empire's strongest swordsman. That's at least what his title was back then. And now we found out the 4 that were killed, Kefir, Gustav, and Krenchel. I was like, okay, those are the 4 that were killed. Right. And now we hear and that's what they say. History always sides with the winner. Because that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. And history tells it that there were only 7 heroes, and the other 7 were just their attendees, their attendants. And right. I'm like, okay, so that's how they wanted to be known. And then we find out of the 14, so the 3 that are missing, clearly we're going to get more backstory, which you're not going to like, because we still need 2 more backstories, because people clearly must have been sacrificing themselves on the journey. Hence, Ingrid, who we find out sacrificed herself used the magic, and he made the 1,000-stone spear. And who would have known that current day and age, this is what's keeping this world isolated.
Yeah.
The heroes use this smartly. They use this as, now you have to pay to cross that. Mm-hmm. And that's what people are trying to smuggle to get past to get on the land of the heroes. So,
which is interesting because like Altia was like, hey, you're in luck because if you catch this shipment, they'll actually be there and set up camp for 2 days. And I was like, how convenient. How convenient.
I got a smuggler who knows her trade.
Well,
she knows the intel.
No, I'm just saying in the fact that we were talking about like how they thought about using the wall or like the spears to be able to pay over, and the fact that that's part of the selling point to make people want to come over. It's like, hey, on this day the heroes are gonna be there, right? So it'll be a safe place for you to actually get to be. So that's why I'm just like, how convenient. So it's fine.
Now, of course, when during the fight with the magic sword, he gets dropped to a lower level of the monastery.
And I was like, where are we now? I said, what is happening?
I just like the fact that there was apparently elite monks that are down there, and they're like, who is this kid?
Right.
And per usual, I got the main monk again showing up. I'm like, yo, can we just kill this dude?
So fast.
Yo, 100%.
Like, I would love him to be in the book. I know he's gone now.
Is he? Remember, at the end when the place is collapsed,
those villagers are like they were ready.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
I think he gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay, because whatchamacallit was not going to help him. He's like, listen.
No, the only thing I had remembered.
You are the people.
The only thing I had remembered is how he put that one Thai chief monk in front of him.
Yeah.
And he was like, you boss. And then the rock fell on both of them. And I'm like, okay, he cushioned himself. Now, after that, now there's no toll needed. All the people are coming to the other side. Right. And I said, good. I said, Conzel did it. And
then I'm like, where does dragon come from? I said, then we also get these dragons.
Hey, we got answers. Immediately they said a dragon was stolen by some kid.
I know, but still, I said, but why? Like, how did we get here to where, like, we have these dragons all of a sudden in the world? So I was just like, I just don't know. So
then after that, it was just, I hated it was a classic, which I hate. I guess they call it a trope, right?
Yeah.
We go ahead, we meet the people that we want our revenge on or we're after. We get stopped almost
immediately.
Yeah, and we can't get our revenge, and then that's when the story kind of really picks up. And I'm just like, all 7 are right here. Like, break the trope. Let me kill 2 of them off the bat. Let's let it be known. But we meet the main dude, Glenn. Yeah. He's the one running it all. Yeah. Glenn, for political reasons, is like, I'm gonna pardon this kid.
Right.
Everybody want him dead or killed. Mm-hmm. Then this is what I didn't like. No backstory at all. Apparently, there's his subordinates who's been chasing us since the Badland or Borderlands, who was like, we're not going to let you get to our master. And then when they finally arrived, they're like, what happened? And they were like, he pardoned them? And they were like, no, he's the hero of the Borderlands. Like, I wasn't even a match for him. Right. So then they were like, he didn't seem that strong to us. So it's like, okay, so shoot, you're talking about Team Rocket, so we're gonna have these clowns chasing after us the whole time, I guess, till we get to Glenn.
Apparently.
And then, like you said, this other random person with another dragon snatches us up.
Yeah. I was like, who is this?
I thought she was with them. So apparently that's the princess.
She's the third princess.
Third princess. So
that's important to take note of.
We know Wield apparently served this royal family.
Something.
Apparently Conzel killed their brother. He wants to save the princess who was taken on his watch.
Yep.
Inserts Centurion, who you were talking about. Mm-hmm. And I felt bad because this was another trope or classic where we got one person working for the evil but thinks that they're the almighty and holy, and they're like, they would never do that. And then we come to find out that there's these smuggling bandits who are stealing women, and they're like, oh, well, this makes it easier. We also serve him. So hand over the boy. Because the boy saw everything. And he's like, Centurion, what are you going to do? And he's like crying. And he's like, there's no way this would have happened. And like Will's fighting him. And he's like, I know it was you who did it. I remember those tattoos from anywhere. Right. And he's like, just because I'm bald, why do I got to get treated like this? And then even those other bandits had, before they showed who they were with, you know, it was just too nuts. I said, what's going on here? I said, what are we really doing? Maybe Centurion comes with us. I don't know.
Man, who knows? I don't know.
Man.
But hey, like I said, you want to keep talking about? I'm down to keep talking about it because the sad part is, like, I know this is based off a manga, and the manga was received really well.
Oh yeah.
It was received really well, and I'm kind of disappointed about how it's been turned out. So maybe a pickup. Maybe a pickup for me in episode
I thought
4.
The pacing was great.
I mean, the first 2 episodes too much. Maybe it was too much monk time. Like, you know, like crab time.
Sure.
Maybe it's just too much monk time.
You didn't like the monks.
I didn't like them. I said, who are they for?
But it sounds like you're not going to like the priestesses.
I just feel like something about her and how she just fell in. Because, like, this is the second time someone's fixated on these moons. And I ain't heard nothing yet. So, I need to see more.
Clearly the moons play a part here.
Apparently.
Okay.
Alright.
I guess this is what you meant by keep that big head energy. I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time.
I mean, I was talking about that. I mean, I feel like the show we just talked about was big head energy. But
he didn't have a big head.
Okay.
My last note for that was, are we going to ever find out PP's name? Okay.
No, I don't think we're ever going to find it out.
I think that might be the running thing.
I think that is her name now, so that is who she is.
All right.
That's interesting that this is the show you want to talk about, but sure.
Whoa, what else is? Whoa, hold on.
There's a couple other shows that.
Oh yeah, you know what? You ain't lying. Okay, I'm changing mine. Okay. Let me do. You might not like this, but I want to do Gracia Phantom Trigger.
No.
Okay. I have to do it only because of this.
All right, go for it.
Confusion.
All right, confusion is yours.
So can you answer this for me? My first note. So am I a season behind? Or is this just how I picked up? Because I did appreciate that recap in the very beginning. Because, like...
So, I didn't watch it because we didn't talk about... When we confirmed it, our shows yesterday. That wasn't on our list. We didn't confirm that one.
What's that now?
That show.
This one?
Yeah.
It's on your list.
Yeah, but from the list that we talked about earlier, yeah, that's not...
That's why I said I watched everything on your list. That's why I was like, Janisha is not on your list. Please read your list again.
This is crazy.
Okay. Well, let me answer me this. We don't have to talk about it right now. Answer me this. Was there a season prior to this? Because how it came on, I was just like, I am so lost in the sauce. Now, right away, it looked like an intro was about to happen. So, like, the little square popped up, and I was like, oh, am I going to skip the intro? Because I never skipped the intro on the first episode. I want to get a feel for it.
No, so there's a movie that came out in 2020.
See?
That's the prequel.
So instead of me having the skip intro, it said skip recap. And I was like, interesting. So for an hour or for a minute and 25, it was like a recap. And I was like, thank goodness for this recap. So, okay.
I mean, you can still talk about your notes. It's fine. Yes.
I'll wait till you watch it.
Okay. All right, fine.
Even given this worthless appraisal skill, I'm actually the strongest.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm surprised that wasn't one of the ones you picked. Okay, so
I'm kind of okay with not continuing to watch this show.
Yes, hold on, I have notes about it. Hold on.
Oh, you're gonna read a synopsis first.
Oh, I was gonna, yes, that too. Even given the worthless appraiser class, I'm actually the strongest. In a fantasy world where jobs are God-given from birth, heroes are born, not made, and Ian's job of appraiser has put him about as far from the hero pedestal as possible. Used, abused, and eventually abandoned by his fellow adventurers, Ian decides it just isn't worth going on. Luckily for him, through the end may just be the beginning. As a new lease on life, turns out his worthless job may just be what he is the key for him to become the hero after all. So, this show, I too am okay with not talking about it.
Yeah.
I think it's an entrant. I think the show has potential.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's giving major harem vibes, and I'm just not into it right now.
Sure.
I do like the animation and the graphics, which is like kind of sad that it's being wasted on like a show that's about to go down that route. But
it's been a while since I've seen a Gremlin. I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Absolutely, a Gremlin / imp, absolutely. Been a minute.
I was all for it.
One that was S-class. I was like, great. Yeah, I feel like like the world building that it's doing is it has me curious.
Sure.
There are things about it that I'm like, oh, this piques my curiosity. There was a world tree on the surface world, and now there isn't one anymore.
Right.
And now we find out there are 9, but they're all underground in dungeons. Separate.
Split apart.
And we're learning more about, how each one has its own guardian, each one has its own spirit. How did we get here? Excellent questions. And then, I like that we're focusing on shows that are doing like spotlights on skills or job classes that most people wouldn't pay no attention to.
Oh, appraisal, right?
Appraisal, right? So I'm just like, I like it, and it's going a different route about how one can use their appraisal skills and how they can utilize those skills to defend themselves. And so I like those aspects of it. So I feel like this show had a lot of potential. I'll probably keep watching it as back burner just to see what happens. Yeah. But
it's in my continue.
It's in the continue, but I just don't know.
It definitely has harem feels.
And I'm just like, do I want to see that today? Probably not.
See, I don't want to waste a spot in the book because Zoid and Jolene are definitely trash.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
So this
high five to everybody in the tavern that was ready to lay hands.
Oh yeah, they were. Even though they know he's a worthless trash picker.
But they're just like, hey.
How could you do that?
Let's keep it classy. Okay?
Yeah, you can't be doing that to people.
Yeah, why even bring them along? So these are all great points.
I did like the fact that even though he doesn't have the top-notch skill, he's done his homework. Yes. He was like, why is this thing here? Mm-hmm. It shouldn't even be in this area. Mm-hmm. And they were just like, just get the gut-nit trash picker, and it was like, wow, a whole row of them. And he's like, pulled out the map. This isn't even on the map. He's like, we shouldn't go this way. And
I thought it was like a double dungeon. I said, right. Oh my gosh, we got to get out of here. I was like, don't y'all know double dungeons are like a no-go?
People don't know that.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, it was like, I thought it was an interesting fact. That person is like the mom of the guardian. But I was just like, okay, so are we going to meet somebody protecting the guardian spirit of every... So it's going to be like a 2-person, 2-sales syndicate kind of thing all the time?
That's what's going to happen.
Well, then... Because I felt like that person, the first one that we see...
On the next preview.
I don't know. No, because the person guardian is Ursula.
Yeah.
Because I was like...
I mean, Ursula bad. I will say that.
Well, I didn't know... Was Ursula included a part of the 7... or a part of the 9 silhouettes that we saw to begin with? So
I don't know. I have to rewatch.
So that's why I was just like... Because with that logic, instead of him just granted, he could just be with all 9 spirits, mm-hmm. but why not show all 18 people then if someone's guarding each of the locations? So... Right. But no, it's like you said. I know at least when you watch it on television, it's on Crunch. If I start watching it, as soon as the next episode comes up, it'll be it'll take precedence and it'll be in my continue watching. Yeah. So I'll watch it so I can complete it. But I don't know. I want to see how some of it plays out. Mm-hmm. We fought a death bear. That was kind of cool. Yeah. The training was half a month.
It was. I was like, how much this bag got of the tears? Because we used it quite a lot.
Right. I like the fact that we gave him an eye. I was like, okay. I was like, what does the other eye do? You know, like I had questions.
As you should. There's a lot.
You know, what I'll probably do is like it'll just sit there unwatched, and then that way it's relevant. And then once the season ends, I can just watch it straight.
We'll just binge it.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great idea.
I mean, I like binging. It's kind of
this is a binge podcast, so that makes sense.
Because like I know, like I was tempted the whole time. I was like, yo, let me watch Solo Leveling right now. Like it was episode 1, and then I was like, I could do that, or I can really enjoy my life and watch 3 episodes straight.
Yeah,
and that was the better choice.
That was the better choice.
So yeah, I'm okay with being done with even giving a worthless appraisal skill. I'm actually the strongest.
Okay. All right. Bogus Skill Fruit Master. So, your arms are crossed.
Just wait for it. Just wait to hear information.
Alright, so in this world, one can gain special abilities by eating a skill fruit only once. To eat another is a certain death sentence. However, Light obtains a skill called Fruit Master, which is unsuitable for battle. He resigns himself to a life as a farmer, but by chance he eats another skill fruit. And at this moment, he learns the hidden ability of Fruit Master. I'm torn with this show.
Okay.
Because I think it's interesting. Isla works my nerves. She's a problem. But, I don't know. For this show, like, I'm it's up in the air. Like, I'm down to keep talking about it. I'm down if we don't talk about it. Yeah, I feel like this is definitely a back burner show. I'm just like really confused about what they prioritize in this world, because if I get that, you know, for his friend Lena, she ends up getting a great skill, you know, sword same. They both wanted to be heroes and leave their mark on history. The nun, the sister, like, you know, the sister immediately takes her, immediately switches like, no, you have no choice. You're going to do this. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And then they found out he's Fruit Master. And I'm just like, wouldn't you want someone who knows how to cultivate these fruits? Wouldn't this person be on a higher pedestal so that you can cultivate higher quality skill
You would
fruits?
have an abundance of skill fruits.
Right, to choose from. So I was really confused. And so, so that was one thing that I was just like, I don't know. And then, you know, the fact, and this is me jumping, that's fine.
Sure.
But like, Isla is concerning. She took the fruits from boxes that had like crossbows and death signs on it and thought it was okay to put it in the soup.
In her defense, not educated, was brought to us
by the
village.
Which was crazy too. I was like, who is this man?
Now, hold on. Since we're already jumping, when are we not going to go ahead and blame, what is his name? Light. Because even he says, I should have told her about fruits.
He should have told her about fruits. 100%.
She also eats a fruit.
She did eat a fruit.
You have to be coming of age to even eat a fruit.
That was another thing that I was like, hey, what's going on here?
And since we're jumping, he still didn't, because she ends up bringing some of the fruit on the journey.
I know.
So he still has not taken the time to talk to her about the fruit.
I mean, listen, I feel like they're both just like, what else could go wrong? But my thing, I'm just like, because that's also a great point. I'm like, she's not old enough to have a fruit, so why is she, like, because they made it seem like the skill will manifest itself when you are of age. So that also lets me know we don't trust this system, because obviously
I can't trust this church at all.
Absolutely, the sister's the worst. Like I was like, she's up to something. And then I'm also confused by, I'm like, how can they just walk to the guild and just be like, hey, we're adventurers, this is our skill? I was like, is there a vetting process here?
I mean,
because there wasn't one. They just were like, hey, we're adventurers now, and even someone called it. I think his name was Bruce. Or somebody he was just like, he said, hey, weren't you selling fruits the other day?
Hey,
I was like, 100%.
It's a trade, it's a lifestyle.
And that's fine. But he's like, how are you doing fruits and now you're an adventurer all of a sudden? I said, these are excellent questions.
Not really.
Yes, they are.
You could be an adventurer just a survivalist. Some of the adventures are just collecting herbs. Like he was selling that, and then he realized, I gotta make more money.
I'm just like, what's the vetting process? Yeah, not really a fan of the Sacred group.
No, me neither.
I mean, Sacred's not that great.
We handled the leader, it seems.
Yeah, he's
it kind of seemed like the other two would just leave us alone.
I think so. They're just like, it's not that deep. Yeah, okay, the leader of Sacred is Bruce. He's awful. Sister's awful.
I mean, Strong Arm Eric had something to say, but it's like, whatever. They just don't care about the people.
They don't care about the people.
You know?
And I'm just like, this is a true statement here. Because they're just like, hey, it doesn't matter if their homes and stuff are destroyed. The point is that we defeated this monster.
Like, well, his logic was they're the ones sending in the request. Like, they wanted a monster gotten rid of.
Right. And I was just like, this is crazy. I said, this is wild. I was like, this is a wild.
And that's why I have a problem with Light. We took on missions repairing towns, repairing stuff that was destroyed, and it's like, you had all that time to tell her about the fruits. This little girl's walking around with you.
I just don't know about this shit. I mean, listen, I can go either way.
I mean, probably for the sake of time for the pod, it could be backburnered.
Not a problem with that.
Like, I watch it.
Not a problem.
So, yeah, I don't see anything drastically. Like, maybe once we find out more about the nun. Now, granted,
I feel like Black Swan is under the nun.
I was going to say, like, depending on who's riding with Black Swan, this could pick back up.
Yeah.
We'll put a pin in it.
Yeah.
It might come back. It might come back. We would need more party members, because us two alone aren't going to cut it.
Yeah, no, we need some more people. Alright, go pick.
Oh, boy. Boy, you might not like this.
That's fine.
Alright, we're going back to that receptionist thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if my notes are correct, I guess there might be other stuff. Oh, no, these are ones we aren't talking about. Yeah. Possibly greeting.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I may be a guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. So, Alina Clover signed up to be a receptionist for the Adventure Guild, thinking it would be her ticket to the good life. Unfortunately, her dream gig turns into an overtime nightmare whenever adventurers get stuck clearing a dungeon. To save herself from paperwork, she takes the beating down monsters herself to solve the problem so that she can clock out on time. Okay.
I'll be a receptionist. She said it herself. Like, it's good pay. She's able to afford
her house,
the living. It's stability.
Yes.
I was just like, oh wow. And then you just got to worry about this overtime thing. And part of me is just, I was wondering the same thing. Like, I know I'm jumping, because I was just like, why don't we just get more receptionists?
Right, absolutely. Why did it take us this long to have this option?
Right, so I was just like, okay, got it. I feel like you like this show a little more.
Yes, I do like this show a little more, yes.
Okay, so you can start us off with some stuff without me attacking. I could jump in.
You can just jump in.
I just want you to read that.
Okay, look, Justin, it's fine. You just want to say that's on my list. Okay, sure. Grazia, Phantom Trigger was on my list.
Do you see Zanisha?
No.
Zanisha's not on your list.
That's crazy, because I could have swore
that's your list.
I did.
All right.
That's wild.
Now,
anywho,
in reference to the show, is there anyone who's ratchet on this show?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay.
Not at the moment. There's no one that's ratchet on the show that I would consider to be ratchet. I don't know. I don't have many notes for the first couple episodes, except for like, we're building the world. We're learning about what's going on, how things get set up.
Yeah, like episode 1 to me was just like, well, if anything, she's a bully. She basically tries to threaten the Silver Sword. And I love the fact that the Silver Sword leader like whispers as she's leaving, "I'm not giving up." And I'm just like, say it with your chest.
I mean, listen, she just wants to have a quiet life. She's not trying to bring any attention to herself. You know, that's
no. I'm not gonna let you say that.
It's true.
Because immediately episode 2, it negates all of that.
No, because that's why she wears the hood.
No.
She just goes in and out.
Episode 2, I was like, this is too much. How does another receptionist being hassled cause you to have overtime? She did not have to get involved with that other receptionist.
I'm talking about her doing the
I know.
dungeons. Okay.
I know.
Because that one kid, that punk is a ruffian. He keeps coming back and causing troubles time and time again.
Get the guildmaster, get the authorities. There's options around this. She wants to keep her head down, low profile. Why in the world are you getting involved when another receptionist is dealing with a customer? That has nothing to do with you.
She's looking out for her friend, Justin Dang. Gosh.
And then, this is my problem.
And his name's Slade, too, and I know he doesn't, so he's the worst.
This is my... This is why this show is so stupid. If you don't want to be seen...
Yeah.
Don't turn towards the people that are in the dungeon. Like, you went and slayed somebody.
Yes.
You didn't have to turn back at all.
Look, hey.
Also, instead of you wearing a big hood with your biscuit head, why don't you just wear equipment? You could wear a mask, a face covering. There's so many options.
There are so many options. That is a true statement. Like, she didn't really think this through. I don't think she did. I don't think she did. I feel like her intention was to never be found out.
Of course, I think that was her intention. But it's just like, geez Louise. Like, put something on. Like, I'm sure they had some type of magical items there that are going to change your eye color. Like
something.
You could wear goggles. Like this, it was just too many options. She's so quick. After she killed the boss, she clearly didn't want the goods or the reward. Why did she keep running straight? Or just like how she was able to jump over all of them, jump over them again. Like there were options here. Now all of a sudden, I didn't see what the grade was for the show, but it took a pretty huge. I was like, whoa, language. This Slay guy called Elena the bitch. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on here?
I mean, the B word's fine, but yeah, he's a menace to society. I was hoping they were gonna just take him out, and we didn't. And he was a chump because, like, fast forward later, he's like,
he destroyed our house too.
He did. I don't even, so like, he's harassing Layla. The other receptionist is like, hey, I know there's a secret dungeon that that only a certain amount of people can know about. And they're just like, we don't know what you're talking about. And I'm just like, hey, obviously if you were good enough, you would have knew about it. Okay? You would have known about it. And then what he decides to do, since he's a sore loser and just all around lame, he went ahead and...
Is he strong?
I don't think so.
Because that was a dungeon beast remains.
It was a dungeon beast remains, but he's not strong because technically... The adventurers before, they were like, hey, we didn't defeat it. We just put him to sleep.
Fair.
He just put him to sleep. And so I think the thing is...
The Slay go in your book.
Slay goes in the book for me.
Okay.
He controls it, but I'm like, what are the things that... But he doesn't really control it well. It's not like he's being very intentional about what's happening.
Sure.
So, Slay takes control of this golem and this rampage in the middle of town because he's not able to find what he wants, which is the secret dungeon. And he destroys Alina's house. And that was it. She was like, this is really going to cost me overtime. And now my house is gone.
I just love the fact that she was like, no.
Right, she just could tell. She was just like, of
the
course.
direction that went in,
and
please no.
She just like hustled it to her house. And her house was destroyed. And later that morning, she was talking about like, I can finally afford the mortgage with this. She's like, I got a 30-year mortgage with this. What's going on?
I like the subtle humor where it was like the sword, Silver Sword is like, you can come stay at my residence. And she's like, I'm not really in the mood for jokes. Can you please just leave?
And he's like, what? She's like, of course. She said, I'll stay at an inn. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, what times are you living in? But then she gets found out by the guild master. I mean, by the...
Another problem I have with the show. You don't want to be seen. You want to live a low life. Stop doing stuff. She did not have to take down slaying this golem.
She had to.
No, she did not.
Someone had to stop slaying. No one else was going to do it.
Silver Sword was getting ready to immobilize and handle this.
He didn't have what he needed because he was more concerned about the people in the town.
She's just always doing stuff. That's what takes me off. Stop doing stuff. You know what? I would have loved this show.
Yeah.
If it was, I may be a guild receptionist, but
I can't stop doing stuff.
I'll solo any boss to clock out on time if I need to. And you know what? It should just go ahead and be everyday life receptionist.
Yeah.
And here's the crazy thing. While people are sleeping at night, you go ahead and do what you got to do. And it's over. I would have been like, oh man, she's sneaking out again tonight. And then it would have been something along the lines of somebody, man, why does she always leave her home at this late? And then somebody discovering her that way. Because that would have been the same equivalent as her wearing a big hood, turning around, looking at adventurers, and, just because my head is partially down, thinking I ain't going to be seen.
Listen, the leader of Silver Sword is an exception because the other people on that team could not even tell.
Oh, really? Because we have a guild master, and we find out she knows his ability. And she does something in the middle of town, which is, I don't know, something a guild master and investigators would look into.
And she realized her blunder on that one. She was like, ooh, that wasn't the best decision. I love how the guild master was like, you doing all this just to clock out on time? And I was like, never underestimate the power of overtime.
Guildmaster wants to fight the executioner. And I was like, good. If we win, we will be left alone.
Right.
Lose, and we're forced to join Silver Sword.
No, and if we win, we'll get more receptionists.
Right.
Yes.
So I was just like, okay, cool. Well, I took that as like, that was the sweetener to even accept the fight.
Yeah.
So I was just like, all right, cool. We won. And I was like, the guildmaster, no. Remember, so we had won, and it wasn't until they were sitting down in the room. Because one of my notes was, left alone, why don't we just ask for more help?
Right.
But the guildmaster was like, hey, because this secret, this clock tower showed up. Chalk tower. Just go with them. And the guildmaster will double the number of receptionists if we work with Silver Sword this one time to clear the new dungeon. So I was like, okay.
Right.
Win-win. We get left alone.
Mm-hmm.
We get double the receptionists. Let's just clear this tower. Done with this.
Right.
She agrees. And my second note was this. Why didn't we make them just buy us a new house? It was collateral damage. That's what should have happened.
Who knows?
Oh wow, this is a pretty long episode. We do find out, we get some hints. There's a monster in there. It uses skills.
Can't stand Rufus. Put him in the book.
Rufus can go in the book.
Rufus can go in the book because he's the worst. Yeah, because we go to the chalk tower and yeah, we see other adventurers that are in there, and people have been attacked, and immediately someone notices that their wounds have been inflicted in a way
from behind,
and that a monster.
Silver Sword does it. No.
Right. The leader's name is Jade. So Jade, he's like, huh, and then Rufus is the only one left alive, and then Rufus is like, oh my gosh, he accuses Alina of being a monster because she's able to summon her weapon at ease, and that's what the monster that they were up against also does. So Rufus is like, hey, I'm gonna tell everybody that y'all teamed up with a monster.
Unless you kick her out.
Unless you kick her out and let me explore the rest of the dungeon with y'all. And
Rufus apparently is a part of the second strongest party.
Right.
Demands that Silver Sword has to go back.
Right.
And again, more issues. You're the guild master. Shut this kid up.
Yeah, like he doesn't make the shots around
You don't
here.
threaten us.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? We did get a partial Elena backstory.
We did.
Mr. Shroud. I was like, okay. And hey, she wasn't even going to be an adventurer. Or no, well, she wanted to be an adventurer because of Mr. Stroud.
Right.
And then apparently after the death of Mr. Stroud, here we are. Now, that was the one thing I didn't like.
I know, actually, one thing I'm not sure is like, does her, because she mentioned in the first episode, is her adventure license real or is it fake?
No, she said it's fake.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was just like, okay, we're walking around with a bogus license. Got it.
Now,
go ahead.
My biggest problem was there was a cut on his hand.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been more symbolic if the pinky finger was cut off.
Okay.
Because they pinky sworn when she last saw him. So that little cut on his hand, I was like, who is this for? Like, what are we doing?
Somebody.
I didn't get it. But we end up meeting the thing that's inside of the dungeon is Dark God Scylla. Rufus is trash. Put him in the book. He killed his own party.
Yeah, to feed their souls to Scylla, because Scylla's like, hey, I'll give you a skill or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know that was the case because Scylla killed him. He said any souls is good enough for me, and then he ate it, and he was like, "Ugh, what a."
Well, no, he was like, any soul that's in my line of vision is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna get it.
But no, he was just saying how he was promised, like, if he gave him enough, like he was gonna be able to get a skill or something like that. And I was just like, hey, I wonder. So I was like, they left us on a good cliffhanger, which is fine. And I was like, I wonder if Alina's gonna come through because. Earlier in the previous episode, she received earlier in the episode, she received the
pendant to see if their life's in danger.
And so I feel like she will get there very quickly. So, yeah. Like I said, I enjoy the show. I want to see where it goes.
I'll see where it goes. I just can point out things that are ignorant.
I also just want to honorable mention, I love how Lo looks like Axel from Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, right. There's tendencies.
I'm just the red hair, the whole outfit. Come on, let's not play these games. It's very.
I wonder if she's gonna make it to them by flying this dragon I keep seeing on this intro.
Absolutely. See, another thing, where are these dragons coming from? I just don't know. But all right.
All right, next show.
Hold on. Possibly the greatest alchemist of all time.
So these first episodes are always long because we gotta trim some of the fat.
Yes. Alright, so not even a hero, Takumi gets accidentally mixed in with a group of heroes, chosen to be summoned to another world. As compensation for the mix-up, a goddess offers him the right to choose any skill he wishes for, hoping for a peaceful and quiet life that has nothing to do with fighting or going into battle. He chooses a seemingly boring creation skill. However, it turns out alchemy is the most powerful skill that allows him to create everything he's able to create everything. And I'll leave it at that. I like this show.
Oh yeah, it's great. It reminds me of that one healer show.
Yes, it does, which is a good show, which I'm excited for when that picks up, because we deserve another season. I just want to say first off, high five to the girl who was summoned from the heroes who did not trust the Empress right away.
Well, that was because of the instincts, and she also got a blessing. She
did, but I'm just saying, I'm glad that she was like, she didn't fall prey to how the boys were just like, all right, great.
Yeah. 100%.
And she was just like, I don't know about this. This is too suspicious.
I agree.
I also think it's worth mentioning that we see another goddess talking to the main goddess about like, hey, why'd you send him a year into the past of what happens?
I thought that was great.
I was just like, and she was like, she's like, there's no special meaning to it. And I'm just like, is that true?
Now that's interesting because we had current, ahead, behind.
Mm-hmm.
They were moving.
And
that's usually something you don't like.
I mean, look, but we got all that in like the first episode.
Okay.
So I was just like, that's fine. Whatchamacallit spending Ubel Blatt. Well, that was 3 episodes. I said, how long is it going to take us to get to where we need to be?
They did again. Never an episode, but all right.
All right. Anyways, so I'm enjoying this show. I don't really have that many much notes except for like, hey, we're testing out our skills. We got sent to a really good town. The goddess mentions this later. She said, hey, be mindful that this is a trial. She's like, don't think just because you have this blessing now, means that everything's going to be going good for you the whole time.
I thought it was interesting that was the blessing.
Right.
That we basically fell into the perfect scenarios for everything, and that it was slowly deteriorating.
Right, and I appreciate the fact that she said that, because most places are just like, hey, this is it, and she's like, that's not it. You're not always going to meet the best people.
Now, they had some classic moments here. I was just like, okay, anime classic, there's a horned rabbit.
Absolutely.
Takumi seems like a classic / basic name. I feel like it's in quite a few animes.
It is.
So I was like, okay, got it.
I love Maple.
Oh yeah, Maple's great.
Maple's great.
It's interesting how alchemy is being used.
I'm glad that we're seeing another show that's taking a different spin on alchemy.
I love alchemy.
And so I'm just like, right. Need more shows like that.
Now, I was more concerned that the salesperson trader we were introduced to, I didn't think he was on the up and up. But they're claiming that he is a part of up and up due to the blessing. Okay. Because
like merchant?
Because our potion was so clear. Yeah. I was like, are we sure this is a basic potion and not a high potion? You know? And then, but I guess, because he was like, well, I'll buy this from you, but since you're not really recognized yet, that's why I can't pay you more. And
I appreciate him being honest about it, because he clearly states like, hey, once you're more well known, I have to pay you more.
Sure.
And he's just like, but I wanted you to know now that I'm paying you this amount because I know that it's worth it and it's high quality.
Now, I was starting to think we're about to go a little downhill here.
That's fine.
When we're in a world again with slaves. But what I appreciated, which is an interesting word to be in the same sense as a slave, as they are slaves to an extent. They went ahead and broke it down how they are either casualties of war, how people who are serving sentences can be a slave to go ahead and reduce their sentence.
Right.
People without a family can go ahead and do this so that they have
like their basic needs.
And then we find out that there is a contract where we don't have people just being enslaved and raped.
It's like they have to make sure that
it's a mutual agreement.
It's a mutual agreement, and you can't ask them to do anything that's not a part
nothing
of the agreement.
Immoral. You can't make them, hey, you got to go steal stuff for me. You can't do anything.
Because like Maria put her foot down. She said, I can't be with you. She's like, I'm not here for this. I'm here to clean.
She's like, hey, as long as you're okay with me being here clean, I can't sleep with you. I was like, whoa.
He was like, well, I'm not trying to do that. She was like, okay, I just want you to know that's not what's happening. I was like, come through, Maria. She was just like, I don't know what you heard.
So we meet Maria. Yep. Because we tell them how we need someone to take care of the house, but also be able to protect us.
Yes.
And old girl was like, oh, so you need 2 slaves.
she was like, got it.
So we get Maria, and she's like, for that warrior one, we'll have to see. And Maria's like, but you got Sophia. And she was like,
she's like, be quiet.
go get ready. You know, he's like, we'll once we get one in, we'll let you know. And he's like, let me see her.
Right.
And you know what? It seemed like there was a moment of hesitation, but she said, okay, let's do this.
Right.
And apparently she never lets anyone see Sophia ever.
Right.
So I was like, okay. And when we see Sophia, I was just like, okay, this should work. Right. Because I was like, we saw her stats.
Yep.
She had health. She's 82 years old. She's level 64. Her job, she's spirit mage. She's level 60. Level knight is 20. Warrior 80. Hunter 67. Vitality 420. Mana 520.
I'm glad you wrote down all of the stats.
Oh yes. Stamina 320. Dexterity 210. Intelligence 360. Strength 280. Agility 380. I was like, whoa. And then the conditions, we heard she was cursed. Apparently, it was her limbs are impaired through a curse of exorcism. Yep. She has unique skills, which is fairy eyes.
From this thing.
Right.
Yep.
So, we level up our light magic so that because he was saying I'm almost there, so this should be fine.
Right.
We level up our light magic, and that way we were able to heal Sophia. And they weren't kidding about this exhaustion. She barely walked. She from where she was to barging through the door. She was exhausted.
She was
I was like,
tired.
oh my god.
She was tired. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, someone help her.
Yeah, like the fatigue was immense. She had to be carried to her bed.
She was like knocked out. I don't even want to say for days, but
who knows?
It seemed that way.
So we're forming this. We're getting there. So yeah, I don't think this will become a harem.
I don't think it will. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this show.
Yes.
I like where we're headed.
Sure.
I'm committed to the journey. It's going to be great.
Okay.
So yeah. It's on you.
I thought there was only one thing else to do. I left my A-rank party to help my...
No. There's another show that's pretty strong.
What's this show? What are you talking about?
No,
I meant this was the only one to do right before we get to the top ones.
No.
What is it?
I kind of want to talk... I mean, okay.
Tell me the names. No, because I could be missing in my notes.
I think you might be. Because I was like, shout out to you for being on the show, because it wasn't on my list. Flower and Ashura.
Oh, okay. Tell us about it.
Did you not watch it?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? That's crazy.
I tried to find it. It's supposed to be on Crunchyroll.
It is on Crunchyroll.
I went to search and spelled out flower entirely and nothing came up.
I mean, listen, I'm going to take a word out of your book and I'll just wait. So, yeah, so when I watch whatchamacallit, you watch Flower and Ashura, because I feel like that's actually going to be one of the top shows for the season.
Really?
This slice of life show, it's up there. It is up there. So
see, I read the synopsis, and that's why I was just like, "Oh, Kia's gonna love this."
No, this show. Oh my gosh! Like I had no, it's on High Dive. That's what it was. It was on High Dive.
See,
it was on.
That's where it is.
Yeah, it was on High Dive. I feel like this is gonna be one of the top shows of the season.
Wow.
That's not a fighting show or anything.
Wow.
Consistently, intro's great.
Whoa.
Intro, it just fits the whole vibe. I said, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Like, I even tell you one of my notes. I was like, chills. Immediately, she asked skills. I was like, I got chills.
Oh, wow.
You'll see when you watch it. Yeah, so I'm a whole I love this show. This show, even if this show's in my top. This is a
wow. But listen, the pod is hearing all the praise this show is getting.
And honestly, so I'm just like, shout out to you for putting it on my list, because I was like, I don't know.
Right.
But I was just like, this is this is gonna be one of the
and I get 6 episodes straight to watch this.
Yeah, this is a good show. I vote for this show to be on our thing that we talk about.
Wow.
It's a good show.
Okay.
It's a good show.
Okay, I'm excited.
Yeah, you should be. It's nice. It's a nice show. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, I literally spent like 2 hours before our meetup time trying to find this thing.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. No, you gotta watch it.
Wow.
But no, that's totally fine. Let's head over to
Wow.
I left my party, so that is quite all right. Not a problem.
Okay. I feel like Thunderpike can go in the book.
Absolutely. That was my first note. Thunderpike is trash. Put him in the book.
Sounds about right.
I was like, immediately. So I left my A-rank party to help my former students reach the dungeon depths. So Yuke, a red mage, just left his adventurer A-rank party after being mistreated as a handyman and ridiculed for 5 years. He finally snapped. And through a stroke of luck, he is welcomed into an all-female adventurer party, which are comprised upon his former students. And so, yeah, we're just going through the world in this new party. And I like this. So first thing, classic, trope. Party always taking advantage, taking for granted one of the key members who's actually, like, making it possible for them to do things. The fact that they're just like, hey, they call him the chore boy.
Yeah.
They're just like, they take it for granted. He leaves. He's just like, hey, I should also be getting this, fair compensation. and they're like, you don't do enough to get fair compensation. And that one witch or one of the mages, he was like,
oh my gosh,
he was like, he said, you utilize my services more than anybody. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then we come to find out later,
her name is Camilla.
Camilla's awful. Yeah, Camilla's awful. And so yeah, so I don't want to jump because I feel like you have more detailed notes and that's totally fine. But yeah, so classic where they take it for granted. He's like, I don't need this. And he ends up joining another party. And while that's happening simultaneously, his old party is bringing in new people to fill his role. And I think they're starting to understand begrudgingly.
I don't think they are.
I mean, hey, it's crazy. But anyways, go ahead and see. Yeah, so this show, episode 1.
I love the show. You can tell, as soon as it started, I was like, you can tell right away Yuke is the one carrying this team.
Yes.
With all his support skills.
Like, he has all the support skills, no incantation. Let's please note.
And this is what I liked about it. I said good. We got a main that is standing up for himself right off the bat. And then after he leaves, I was like,
knows his worth.
Right. And I was like, oh my God, he also is the one who's doing the live stream.
Yes, he was also doing the live stream too. I will say, I do like in this world, this is probably one of the most high-tech worlds we've seen.
100%.
Where people they're utilizing live streams and other tech in this adventurer world. So I love it. I think that's great.
Oh, this is the one I told you about. So I put the note. After we meet our students, when we meet Marina, she finds out we're on the market. She takes her application right away, and we are going to team up with Silk and Rain. I said, yes, the basics, the fundamentals. Jakia must love this. They are checking their inventory before proceeding to the next floor.
Absolutely. What's wrong with people? And then people get, that's how people die in dungeons, because they don't ever check their inventory. And they just be shocked and surprised.
I know.
Don't have enough rations, enough food. Like, Delicious in Dungeon was a great example. They're just like, if you not ready to eat what's in the dungeon, you better have what's on your person enough to last you in the dungeon. It's fine.
So we make a group. Clover is born.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, so I think that was in the first episode. They wanted to go ahead and or did they live stream the second episode?
No, they live streamed the first.
Okay, yeah. So he did the first one only because he knew he could take it down. He's been here before. But I felt kind of bad. The second episode, we are with Thunderpike. Thunderpike has a new ally.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I started laughing.
I love it.
Jamie gets attacked.
Savagely, that was bad.
I know.
I was like, how did that happen? A whole alligator just took her.
It was a dire wolf.
Something. I mean, listen, come on. I was just like, how did we get here?
Right, and then it showed there was tons of dire wolves. I called the other two. I just in my notes I said the two goons were being overran by dire wolves, and yeah. I love the new member, Cork. I wish Cork was with our group.
He's a real one. He said, why would I do this? He said, and the thing, we had to be responsible for our own materials. And he was just like, well, you're our chore board. And he was like, no. And then he was like, I paid for this potion. And they're just like, pay?
He was like, you're selfish. You have an ally that's dying.
And he's just like, yeah. And then, Camilla's taking for her. He's like, Camilla, heal her. She was like, I don't have any mana left. And he was like, how have you made it this far? And I'm just like, she's just like, well, and then Cork is also like, how did y'all get this far? And they're just like, well, our previous chore boy, provided everything.
Yeah, he was like, and how come, they were like, how come there are so many dire wolves? It's like, you're supposed to rub yourself down with such and such. That way you don't attract the whole den of them. And they were like, Thunderpike started blaming him. It's like, you're selfish and you're useless. Mm-hmm. And they said, why didn't you prepare enough repellent for everyone? Right. And he was just like, what?
I know, and I love how Cork didn't stand it. He was like, I don't need this. He said,
Cork,
I'm leaving. Cork is just like, he was like, I don't need this party. And Cork immediately left and he never looked back.
Yes, because Cork's awesome.
He's awesome, but I was just like, man.
If we had a book for a real one, I think I would put Cork in there.
Cork would definitely be in there. Definitely, without a doubt.
So already Thunder Pike has gotten 6,000 views of their stream. Thunder Pike is pissed.
Oh, you mean Clover?
Yeah, Clover had gotten 6,000 views.
Yeah. And
Thunder Pike is pissed.
Right.
And then I was like, who is this guy watching us? Like, it was just some random guy.
He's awful.
In the corner. When we were celebrating.
So goddedly.
And we get our first C rank mission.
Yep.
And now the stream is up to 10,000. And apparently that guy following us is named Beso Salas.
Yeah, he's lame. I don't like him. He has a weird, like...
He seems to be a fan or groupie.
Yes.
And I kind of can't stand him. After we go on this one mission where a magic beast has been seen in the forest that normally should be a D-rank mission. Apparently the magic beast is a Zanarg. They should not be here. They're usually in the depths of the dungeon or in the northern wastelands. And we're able to beat it. Everyone was able to get their shine on the live stream. And I told myself, shout out the guild master wants to meet us. We talk about possibly overflow, and they set up a new quest to investigate issues that could be taking place to make sure overflow isn't happening. And I said shout out to all animes. Everyone is on the same page. We're all calling stampedes.
Yes.
Stampedes. So I said good for anime universe to just agree using stampede in reference to dungeons. The girls get promoted to rank C. We go up to rank A. Apparently, we find out that Thunder Pike, another classic, another trope. The previous group wants us back.
Yeah.
And apparently, we are childhood friends with the leader of Thunder Pike,
which is crazy.
So I'm like, wow. And Beso Salas was watching the whole thing. So you can tell an unholy union is about to happen.
Oh, absolutely. And it's all going to blow up in their faces, and I'm looking forward to next week's episode.
I hope they make Beso the chore boy.
I hope so.
That'll be fitting. But no, I love this show. It's great.
It's a good show. Looking forward to keep going.
Let's see here. Maybe.
All right, cool. So that was I left my A-rank party, and so like I said, we're looking forward to this show. So we're gonna stop here. This is part 1 of our intro into winter 2025, and part 2 we'll be talking about some more of our stronger continuing shows. So look forward to those. All right.